There's a video. It's a little dark to see, so I'll try to go around to the other side. But the puppies, Sunday morning, and it's going to be 68 today, which is actually kind of sad because we desperately need rain in the winter here. But I just put this little string out for him. I had to get more of the long. Good girl, Leia. Good boy, Finny. He's a cutie. They're cuties. I'm going to say a little something here when I go to the other side. I might have said it already on one of the videos, but you almost never see, I've almost never seen a Stafford growl at a human, but I've since talked to people and they say that it is not at all uncommon when they're like 5 weeks old or so. They'll give you a little snarky sound, and that's what Asher did. He was the snarkiest in his litter, which is real interesting because he probably is, among a bunch of totally affectionate, true to character Staffords, the most affectionate with human and kids that we've ever had. He just lives for people. Well, kind of like Shaq. They both live for people. And but when he was about 5 or 6 weeks old, it startled me so much the way he was scrappy that I actually shook him like the mom would by the little cheeks. And I've had to do it to this little fella who doesn't particularly want to leave what he's doing sometimes. And then even little Leia, so they have a little more of the feistiness. And it could be just that they're two and I'm paying more attention. So yeah, just so you all know that you're going to have a strong-willed little puppy. Now, again, what you never, ever, ever want, and I won't throw this person under the bus because it's one of the owners for my last litter who's an amazing and wonderful owner and doing a great job because she's open to learning and knows it's her. But she actually had the puppy biting at her as recently as a month or so ago, which is horrific because he's 6 months old. So, and it was when he just didn't want to he didn't bite her, but he kind of snapped or snarked, and that should just never, ever, ever, ever be tolerated. And she knows that now, and it's not going to be. But that's a litter of puppies with an incredible temperament. And I also assessed this dog when they first started having problems with him, and it's absolutely not the dog. It's just the people, and they're wonderful because they're learning and they're open and they've had other dogs, just different breeds, maybe not as intense as a terrier can be, but boy, you don't allow them to do that in any way. Like little Leia having so much fun, and he's tuckered now. He wants to go back over, but he's tuckered, aren't you? And where'd your daddy go? Because I was just throwing the ball for him to drain his energy. Now that for a while we have to rotate, I know that I'll be okay putting Asher and him back out in the yard. But okay, so are you guys getting boring now? Let me go find Ash. Here I come, Ash. Anyway, I know that they're going to be okay. I'm going to be okay putting Asher and Obi together again. But again, I'm still assessing the situation because living with unneutered males, I know that I could do it. They've never had a problem on my watch. Neither have any of the dogs actually ever had a fight from me. Well, there was one time actually when Shaq and Asher went for a chuck it, but I was able to separate them, and they were more trying to just get the chuck it than each other, in all honesty. Wait. And so that's the thing. But the problem I'm dealing with is Al, and it's not intentional. I just think there's a lot of issues there. Like I mentioned, I don't think he understands really, and I think he's learning maybe, but I don't have a massive amount of faith. So I'm just evaluating all options and looking at everything. But one of the things, to give an example of exactly what I'm talking about, is last night, just a minute, Ashley, one more throw. I woke up. I had Obi and Asher. We have really great built-in baby gates, so I had them sleeping in each separate room. And the only duties at this point that I have Al doing, because I don't want him letting dogs out, I don't want him doing any of that, as anyone could understand after the trauma of the fight. But anyway, I asked him to let the dogs out from 8:30 to 9. That's his little ritual now. He lets them out in a very strategic order, not all together like we used to, unfortunately, at least for the time being. And I know that will change, but I'm just trying to be intense with everything right now. And again, the whole living with two unneutered males, I'm not sure at this point. If Grace, our daughter, gets settled, there is that possibility for Obi. Just because I also think Obi gets really unhappy when the girl's in season. When Willow goes in season, Asher's more tolerant of it. But anyway, that's just like, who knows? That's probably never going to happen that we would place Obi with Grace, but it's a thought. But anyway, I want to solve it. In the meantime, that's the biggest thought. Are you seeing Dad? And so, anyway, so yeah, he was supposed to put Asher in the office kitchen area to sleep, and Obi was in the living room. Well, that's like a simple enough task. You just let the dogs out, you put everybody where they're supposed to be. And honest to God, when I woke up this morning, this is both a good story and a bad story. I had the two girls with me in the bedroom, which usually it's only Shaq, but again, we're trying to I'm getting harmony back is my goal, and everything's a strategy right now. Anyway, I came out, and honest to God, hi Willis, good morning, and there was Asher. I knew it. I heard his feet pattering in the living room with Obi when I woke up, because I just knew the sound of his feet versus Obi's, and luckily he had grabbed himself a toy. He probably slept in the office anyway. It's just the door wasn't locked. I mean, I'm sure they weren't cuddling on the couch after what happened, but when I came out, it was just like old times. They were both there. I didn't sense any tension, whereas I even did sense tension when we took them walking yesterday for the first time. They were both kind of amped. There was a little lack of trust, looking back at each other kind of thing. Nothing profound, and it was better by the end. But somehow, either this morning is what I'm guessing, right when they heard me, they came out to the living room together and apparently didn't act like anything had happened, because when I got out there and I saw them, I was instantly shocked, but I was calm, and they were calm. And so then I just let Obi in the bedroom and Asher out of the house, because the fight happened when Al let them both out of the house the other morning when they were both amped up. So anyway, that's my story for that. And here's the puppies, 8 weeks old. Little Finn, Shasta's no one's ever really gone, 8 weeks. And little Leia, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi. Shasta's help me Obi-Wan Kenobi. She's a fireball and a beauty, aren't you, Leia? We're talking to a bunch of people about potential homes for you, aren't we, sweets? And we're just looking for the perfect little home, because, like I say, they both look like exquisite contributors to the breed at this point. You never know, but because I'm not breeding Roxy again, it's very special to me to have this uncle or cousin breeding. A really nice, what you want to do is try to breed with as many dogs in common in the pedigree, but you still, of course, always want that health as your first consideration, so you have to be careful, and you don't like breed father, son, mother, daughter, brother, sister. Some people do and have, and I'll never say never, but that's certainly not on my docket. You have to be really aware of what you're doing with stuff like that. But again, I will say that to this point, the half-brothers, half-sister breeding that I did of my last litter was my most successful litter ever. And that was a half-brother, half-sister. And to date, anyway, there's zero issues. None of the puppies have problems. The bites all look good. Well, actually, Little Scout had a little bit of a converging canine at first, and they did pull the baby tooth, and now her bite looks fine. So I think that's very common, that need to get the baby teeth out. But God, the ears, the tails, everything is looking great. And the temperaments, of course, golden. So far, so amazingly good. All right, there we go, everybody. Bye-bye, puppies. Enjoy your Sunday.